It's now been 1 month since the report into Australia's first formal truth-telling inquiry was handed down, and the state government is being urged to take action. The Yoorrook Justice Commission issued 100 final recommendations, including a call for redress for historic crimes against Aboriginal people. Tonight, in our Stateline special report, we speak to a former Yoorrook Justice Commissioner and Aboriginal leaders who want the government to uphold the promise it made when it committed to truth-telling. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander viewers are advised that the following program contains images of people who have died.
Yoorrook called it the jagged line. The enduring link it found between what happened to Aboriginal people when the area known as Victoria was colonised.
Abolish the state!
Abolish the state!
And what's still happening now. Despite stories of survival and resilience.
When you were told lies as children, that you weren't wanted and you weren't needed, and what are you meant to believe?
Countless inquiries, apologies and promises.
Better outcomes for Aboriginal Victorians will only come if they are led by Aboriginal Victorians.
While the wealth of Victoria compounded over generations,
in Victoria, gold was discovered.
Victorian First Peoples continue to be poorer and sicker than the non-Aboriginal population.
The journey is not about guilt, it's about responsibility.
We all have to take responsibility for it and fix it.
Victoria's ambition was nation-leading. A 4-year Aboriginal-led inquiry asked to look back at Victoria's history.
We, as the government, in good faith, have given the Yoorrook Justice Commission terms of reference which are the broadest of any royal commission, and invite you to literally go into the fact of colonisation then and tell us what it means now, and not only that, give recommendations for how in justice that situation can be corrected for the past and for the future.
Kevin Bell is a former Yoorrook Justice Commissioner. The non-Indigenous former Supreme Court judge served on the commission for more than 2 years.
Now that's a big promise. It was a genuine promise. It was a promise made in good faith. We represented that promise in the course of our work. Now's the time for it to be implemented.
Yoorrook's final reports document land theft, acts of genocide and enduring racism. It calls for a permanent Aboriginal representative body to ensure the mistakes of the past aren't repeated, for Aboriginal history to be better taught and recognised through things like Aboriginal place names, and significantly for an economic rebalancing, improved access to resources like land and water, and redress for past crimes, which could mean tax breaks.
I don't see anything divisive about telling the truth.
Both the government and the state opposition are yet to respond in detail to Yoorrook's final reports, but are being urged to act.
It's urgent beyond words, truly. It's urgent beyond words because this time the government held out a hope.
My mum grew up without hope. And I don't know how many people realise how devastating that is to grow up without hope. It hurts. What's happening in Victoria is hope. It is hope that our stories will be told and will be heard.
Auntie Jill Gallagher is among those pushing for Yoorrook's blueprint to be taken seriously.
Australia is one of the wealthiest countries in the world, so it's not as if we can't afford it. When you understand the history of colonisation in Victoria and understand some of the government policies back then that prevented Aboriginal people from wealth creation, redress is something that I believe Aboriginal people are entitled to.
There is no dollar figure on Yoorrook's redress plan. For a state with eye-watering debt, it's not an easy sell. The 4-year inquiry already cost $56 million. Among its critics, The Australian, which published an editorial and commentary sceptical of Yoorrook's plan.
Jacinta Allen handed Indigenous activists a blank cheque and a pen, and now they've come to collect.
We're not asking for anything that we shouldn't be entitled to.
The terms of reference make it very clear that Yoorrook was obliged to address the question of redress. And redress is a quite simple proposition. It's a proposition that we go by in society. If a wrong's been done, then it needs to be corrected in an appropriate way, in a way that is proportionate to the wrong that's been done. The redress could be compensation, but it need not only be that. It could be a reorganisation of the way things are done in order to ensure that, for example, racism ends.
Resounding rejection.
The referendum has been defeated.
For many, today is a day of sadness.
Yoorrook's findings land in a changed political reality.
Defeated even in the country's most progressive state.
After the failure of the voice federally, the state Liberals walked back their support for Victoria's treaty process. Labor is pushing ahead, with Victoria's first treaty expected to be signed later this year. The first treaty will secure an ongoing role for Victoria's First Peoples Assembly, something also recommended by Yoorrook.
What we're doing here is not a voice. It's always important to get advice from First Peoples, and that's a component of it. But we want to make sure that where there are decisions that can be made by First Peoples, they are made by First Peoples. And that's a key component of what we're doing here.
The expanded role of the Assembly is also opposed by the state Liberals.
I will continue to stand with those Victorians and say the voice is not needed.
Some have questioned how it will work, the Herald Sun labelling it a covert voice.
We've been working on this for a very long time now, for over 10 years.
So it's not been a secret that this was the aspiration?
Absolutely not a secret at all.
Do you feel scared that this report will sit on a shelf like many of those before it have?
Oh, of course I do. I'm very scared that it will sit on the shelf.
We now have a First Peoples Assembly to make sure that doesn't happen. This is the difference that treaty can bring.
If you were to have the ear of government one more time, what would you say?
Yoorrook has delivered. You should deliver.